Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of. I have no idea what this is the episode
Top
of.
four?
Top four. We haven't really nailed down the name of this yet, but the top four. We talk about the top four of something. Square. Ooh, four square. We'll get there. We're going to workshop it for another couple months. This week we're going to be talking about the top four sidekicks that we've liked, or sorry. Top four cartoons that aren't the big two, not Marvel, not DC, and there are a ton out there. You really got to think about it. We're just going to superheroes, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. All right. There's a lot of fun ones out there.
There's a lot.
So Tom decided to mute himself, so you'll never hear what he has to say.
That's right. It's now the top three.
When did that happen? My thing's acting weird today.
Yeah, that's it.
So, top four cartoons that aren't the big two. Anyone want to start off? Anyone's got a good, strong starter?
Sure.
I know what LT is going to say, I think. Go ahead, LT.
Diabolical.
Ooh.
Diabolical.
Go on.
The boys spinning off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Aha.
Yeah, that
Threw
was
you
kind of
guys
fun.
for a loop, didn't I?
Yeah, no, that was one. That was a good throwback. I mean, they only made. What did they make?
There wasn't a lot, but it was
5
good.
episodes?
Oh, it was good. There's no question about that. That was a fun, good cartoon that really gave us a little bit more in depth into the boys' universe. And some of the episodes were kind of quirky, and some of those episodes were kind of serious.
Yeah, some of them were funny too.
That's what I meant. Quirky, funny. Some of them were comical, and some were like dead serious. So, go. Which one did you like best?
I like the one about the dog. There was one episode that was like almost completely about the dog.
Yep. Those were all
because
good
it didn't really go into the dog at all in the live action series, whereas in the book the dog played a much bigger role, I feel like.
And we're talking about the Terror.
Yeah.
The Terror. He's got a name, is my point. You don't have to keep calling him the dog.
I'm just saying, like, I like that.
I have a soft spot for bulldogs myself, as you all know. Mike, did you watch all that cartoon?
I did not. I did not even see that cartoon.
It's pretty
It's on
good.
Amazon.
Missed it.
Go back and watch it, Mike. It's great.
I did. I remember watching it.
The
I don't
thing
remember
about
much
it,
about
it
it,
was so
though.
short that I remembered when it dropped, and I watched the first episode, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I think I forgot about it because I knew there was only a couple episodes. I'm like, oh, I think I watched it already. I better go back and make sure I saw them all.
Go back
I know I
and
saw the
watch
one
it.
with the Terror.
Yeah. There's not a lot of episodes, but they were great.
All right. Anybody else on that one? All right, I'm going to talk about one that I just started watching again this weekend with my good buddy Josh. Invincible. Drink. Invincible was terrific. The first season was a mind shatterer for a lot of people. I was telling my friend Josh, at the food bank, we have this driver who used to come all the time, who drove the truck for food for free. And he was a gentle Christian guy, lovely guy who loves superheroes. He said, hey, I'm going to watch Invincible. I can't wait for it to start. And I said, don't. Stop. Don't watch Invincible. You won't like it. He goes, oh, but there's so much good buzz about it. I'm like, you're a gentle soul. Please don't watch it. He watched the first episode. He's like, what the hell were you talking about? This is a great show. I'm really enjoying it. I'm like, great. Stop. Today. It stays
It's
in
a
your mind
great
forever.
story about a father happy that his son has gained powers and they can hang out together.
That's right. This is a great show for you today. I beg you. I was like the monster at the end of this book in him. Don't go any further. And every week he'd come by and we'd talk about it. And I noticed he started wearing darker clothes. And he was slightly stooped over. And his T-zone became greasier and greasier. I'm like, I'm begging you, man, stop before season 2 where he starts getting raped on the daily. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm not even making that up, man. Just
That
stop.
might not happen to season 3.
Tommy, we actually made a bet that Tom reminded me of that we think it's going to be the cliffhanger at the end of season 2.
Sure.
Yeah, we're waiting for the second.
Yeah, that guy
season
doesn't
2.
work for Food for Free anymore.
Oh no,
Well, the
he
sec-
stopped. He now runs a brothel in
The second half
Connecticut.
started this week, Mike.
What's
Was
that?
Episode 5 dropped this week. Tom and I, yeah.
Oh, all right, sweet.
So
Yeah,
it should be
new
out
episodes dropped. Josh was nice enough to let me catch up with him.
every Friday, I think, for the next 4 weeks. There'll be a new one. So 5 is out there.
Episode 1, 2, and 3 of the second season were terrific. The entire season, this isn't a spoiler alert, but it really delves deep into trauma. I mean, it's really every episode so far is mostly about how do we take in and parse and live with such hard trauma as you would go through when there is a famine, a plague, a war, or superheroes killing and fighting each other and destroying cities.
And
I think
now, and that treatment of how we deal with that is just softening the blow as it exponentially ramps up for the biggest trauma in the comic.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, it's not
It's
funny
coming.
that they're
choice
relegating
of words.
characters to having to deal with trauma, right? And only in anticipation of people having to deal with on-screen trauma. Like, there's going to be some triggering episodes, and they are really being like, they should actually have some sort of dialogue at the end of these, like warnings at the end. I'm sure they will for that episode. I'm sure.
I'm hoping I think they will, but I hope they put up a 1-800 number at the beginning and the end.
I would think they would.
They should.
I
And they're
think
not dumb.
they should just have it scrolling on the bottom during the entire episode.
I think half the screen should be just someone talking slowly.
A scrolling number, half the screen's an apology. We only get the event in the upper left-hand corner.
It's a little too
Could be
late to
something.
say spoiler for what might happen in Invincible.
The comic's been out for how many years?
Yeah.
I don't feel like
Comics been out for a while.
a while. It finished, complete. Yeah.
There should also be like, instead of having it in Spanish at the bottom, there should just be a comic voice going, "This isn't real. These are cartoons.
These are cartoons.
We drew all of this. No one's actually hurt."
Except for
it's
some
rough.
guys.
But Invincible is
hand.
definitely one of my favorite. It might be my favorite. You know what? I think it is my favorite cartoon superhero. I mean, it's really, really good. I know you guys will
It
probably
really
say
is.
Justice League Unlimited, which was also awesome.
That was pretty darn
X-Men
good.
90s was terrific, but this just takes it up a level for me. And the voice acting, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Me and Josh, we're talking about the soundtrack. Never a miss, really.
Yeah, and they dropped some. They did not shy away from big song. I mean, they dropped Karma Police like right at the beginning, right? Like
They dropped
Yeah.
money.
they
They were
put
like,
some money in there. Yeah.
toss it out. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Nice
next?
job, Kirkman. I'll take it. And only because I'm super surprised LT didn't say it. I'm just going for it. It's the fucking Tick.
I chose one that nobody else would choose.
Well, good for you.
Oh, way to be edgy. Actually, yours was a good pick. But the Tick was
It was a
great.
good pick, but it was
Oh,
also
the
something
Tick.
I didn't think any of you would choose. So we could have
Chairface
top
Chippendale, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur,
Also-
better sidekicks.
One of the few times where the on-screen is better than on print for me. I liked the Tick
Yeah.
cartoon more than I liked the comic book.
Yeah, the cartoon was the epitome
Yeah,
of the Tick.
I think I'd have to agree with you. I think I like the cartoon better than the comic book. Also, I enjoy the comic books.
Me too.
It was better than the live action. It was better than the comic book. It was just the best.
It was the best
Let's not
treatment
talk
of the
too much about the
character.
live action.
I
There's
well,
some good
it's-
people in it.
Well, either one. They've tried that. I can't believe they've tried it twice. Honestly, is surprising to me.
It is.
So, but they still never got better than the cartoon. So
They just made some weird decisions with the live action one. I'll never know why they went with Batmanuel.
Batman, well, yeah.
They just thought the audience wouldn't get it. That's part of the funny is when someone doesn't get it and you start talking about the
The
Fleeter
whole
Mouse.
point is that people don't get it.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
fucking obscure for a reason.
We have to look it up. You know what we can do? Look
Look
it
it
up.
up.
Look it up.
If we're a fan and we're wondering why his name is DeFleeter Mouse, you know what we can do? Look it
Search
Look
the
it up.
Flater Mouse.
up.
Yeah.
Well, now we can.
Now.
Not when that cartoon came out.
That's true. When the cartoon
We
came out,
could start asking
still
around. It
could.
could have been fun.
you
We could
needed
have
an
had to ask until we
Encyclopedia
got to Mr.
Britannica.
Renard. Until we got to Mr. Renard, we wouldn't have known. But we finally got around to asking Mr. Renard why DeFleeter Mouse. He might have had the answer for us.
He probably would have.
Probably
Man,
would.
he was a good teacher.
God damn it.
He really was on the side of personal hygiene, not so great. For the teaching part, very good.
Very good.
And it's too bad that we made fun of him for his lisp while he was doing Shakespeare, because that was us being immature. He was a good teacher.
He was.
He really
passed,
was.
right?
I don't know.
You're pretty sure he
He'd
passed.
He'd be
away.
up there.
Yeah,
Good teacher.
good teacher. Wow.
Let's talk about this a little bit more. I mean, good cartoon in an era where there were some good cartoons coming out. This was better animation, better writing, better humor, more obscure, more fun, more adult.
Yeah. Great acting.
And there was a lot of depth in there, like Chairpace Chippendale doing the old callbacks to the Dick Tracy era, and what was the name of the flower?
LC.
LC.
Seed, yeah, not El Cuervo, yeah, El Seed, as like in this, and the Mad Bomber, what bombs at midnight, baby?
Yeah, I mean, tangentially, I think we have to thank The Simpsons, right, for bringing adults back to cartoons. Like we had like the Flintstones and stuff, and there was a huge gap where there were not a lot of cartoons
a couple
for
here and
adults.
there, yeah. Wait till your father gets home, just a couple others.
Yeah, and then The Simpsons really sort of dragged the world back into, hey, adults can watch animation, and boom.
Yep.
Well,
if I had a dime for every time you said the Mad Bomber with bombs at midnight, baby,
Boom, baby, boom.
And on a big ass stack of
that's a
dimes.
big stack of dimes.
You wanna go crazy, baby? I'm already crazy. We're cooking with gravy now.
So many good quotes.
So my pick is going to be probably the longest running out of all of these superhero cartoons.
That's not hard to believe because we've all picked things that were maybe 2 seasons, but sure.
Sure.
8 seasons over 15 years.
Seasons over 15 years.
Oh,
I'm talking about,
I got it.
Go ahead, Tom.
Is it the Venture Brothers?
It's the Venture Brothers. What an amazing, in addition to being a parody of Johnny Quest and all those other cartoons with super science, it also has a definite superhero and supervillain vibe to it.
We got like 9 superheroes running around in that universe.
Yeah, and the Monarch is one of my favorite villains ever. I just love him so much.
I'm more of a Dr. Girlfriend fan myself.
I don't think I've seen a whole episode.
Really?
Oh my
All right,
God,
it's not
Josh.
for everybody.
Oh.
Check it out, man.
It took
Is that
me a
the
while
one
to
with
get into
Meatwad?
No,
No,
that's
no,
Aqua Teen
no.
Hunger Force.
Oh, that's Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I've
Okay.
never made it through a whole episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force myself. Not that it's bad, it's just not for me because I'm not smoking pot.
Check it out, Josh. I will do the $1 challenge.
Okay. Venture Brothers. I'll put it on the list.
And I guess that'll do it for us.
Name a couple of, just to stay on the Venture Brothers for one more second. I also love that they parody so many other cartoons in there, including G.I. Joe. Who's who's the Navy
Sphinx.
guy? Seaman?
Oh, Shore Leave.
Sure.
God, I love Shore Leave.
They-
Cracks me up every time.
They ruthlessly mock Blackulas.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like a Black Dracula. I'm Blackulous. What's the sorcerer's name? Dr.
Oh,
Dr. Midfright. Something crazy. And of course, they have their own superhero team within that called the Midnight Occult something. There's a lot of depth to it. If there's anything you want to see parodied that was an old cartoon, it's probably in there somewhere.
Sean Connery parody is just spot on.
That guy's name.
The episode where they do Major Tom is just hilarious. They do all the lyrics to Major Tom as a cartoon.
And they also, I mean, it's just got so much just Easter eggs for you. And the henchmen are just amazing.
And there's some real catharsis in there too, because when Henchman 43 loses his friend, Henchman 35, I mean, he goes through a real transformation over the years, becoming his own person. Like, I'm not going to be a henchman anymore. I'm going to be a hero. And then it becomes not that he's going to be a hero, but he's going to work for the government. Then he's going to become his own person and be outside of the chaos. He really became a person during this whole thing. It was cool.
Just one of my favorite gags in there is the Venture compound. They have to rent it out to this magician, sorcerer, right? Who's a parody of Doctor Strange. And one of the dude playing Sean Connery, Action Man. Action Man makes fun of him for the way he's dressed, and he tells him 2 years, 6 months, it'll be a stroke. And they just leave it there.
Walks away.
And then a few seasons later, the dude has a stroke in the cartoon. I was like, whoa, that's some patience writing there.
I think he's called Action Man. I think he's called like Hate, Commander Hate.
He's Action Man. It's all he's introduced in the Space Oddity song that they did the entire lyrics to.
Okay, who was the one with the big H on his face?
That's Sergeant Hatred.
Sergeant Hatred.
He becomes Dr. Venture's nemesis later on.
It's a whole deck of cards that gets shuffled and reshuffled over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's terrific. I really do enjoy that cartoon too. I'm gonna start watching that again. I bet you we could. That's one of those few that are watchable all the way through, because even though it was how many seasons? 13?
8.
There, some of the seasons are pretty short.
Yeah,
you can get through it.
I'm gonna rip some honorable mentions. I don't care. Blue Falcon, Space Ghost, Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
And you forgot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't consider them superheroes.
I can't believe you didn't say the Herculoids.
I don't consider them superheroes.
Herculoids?
Yeah. They're all monsters. They're all themselves. They don't have superpowers. That's what they are. A lion doesn't have superpowers. He's a fucking lion.
They were defending their cave, and I don't remember a lion.
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying in the real world. Like, it was Vrock was a flying dragon.
A laser in its tail?
Yeah, but he's not the only one. They lived out there. There was a mountain with them.
Superhero?
But flying around.
That's who he was. He wasn't super. He was just super.
Yeah.
So has a laser in his eyes. He's a superhero. But Vrock has a laser in his tail. He's not.
He's not, because there were other Vrocks in the world. They went to a mountain and they saw where the Vrocks came from. He wasn't the only one. He was just of his
species.
It's like training a lion to attack somebody and saying that lion's now a superhero. That's not a superhero. He's still just a fucking lion. There are other lions out in the world.
Is based on them sending one of their Vrocks to Earth to be in the League of Superheroes.
Yeah, because they tricked us. They tricked us. Superman's just a trick.
Oh, it's a trick.
Here he's a super person, but there he's just a normal.
Over there he's a janitor. There's a guy named Carl.
He's basically Carl.
A guy named Carl. As a throwback to a Luke Cage comic book. I guess that
Alright.
will do it for us tonight. We'll have to leave the controversy of whether or not the Herculoids are superheroes for another day. Mike, did you have something to add to that?
I did not.
You did not. You look like you did.
Nope. I was giving you the thumbs up to end it.
Thumbs up to end is what we'll do then. Thank you for everyone for listening to our rambling, our gamboling, our chit chat. If you'd like to support us, you can go to our Patreon page. All the money for that does go to the Elizabeth Peabody House, where we fed how many people last week?
I haven't run the numbers, but it was well over 200. It
Well
was
over
probably
200.
closer to like 220.
Wow.
A lot of people, a lot of miles fed.
Yeah.
And we do appreciate all the hard work we're doing over there. 'Cause, man, it was hard today.
It was hard this past week.
Universal Supply, just when you ran out of meat, someone brought you hundreds of pounds of lobster tails.
Not lobster tail, seafood. We got all different types of seafood.
We got lobster tails.
We got some lobster tails, but we also got some squid. We got some octopus. We got some pollock, salted pollock. We've got
Oh,
We got
Mr.
all
Che
sorts
liked
of stuff.
the octopus, I think.
what?
Che, Mr. Che.
Probably a conversation for another podcast.
I wanna
Well,
say
we got
that-
all kinds of different seafood. We got clams. We got everything. Anyway, we're
Your
done.
dollars
Good night,
from the
guys.
Patreon go to support that. Thank you very much. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.